I'm not sure Hollywood could have written this script. There he is, the talk of the town, the talk of Jeddah. Young 18-year-old Oliver Bearman will be taking part in a Grand Prix in a Ferrari.
On F2 pole in this weekend, you woke up and expected to be driving an F2 car. You're now making your F1 debut. Can you begin to put into words the emotions you have today?
Yeah, firstly, we're literally just passing by my F2 team.
Give them away.
Say hello. I thought I was prepared for F1 until I got to this track, which is maybe the most difficult one. So yeah, it's a baptism of fire.
He's had a good conversation with Ollie Mintzlaff, of course, who's the man, I suppose, that would have potentially suspended him had that been the case. He said, there's no more rumours, I will stay. I'm very thankful to Max Verstappen for his support. Max is the only person who has this all straight and clear.
And Helmut's confirmed he's staying to some other TV channels. That's good news for you.
Absolutely.
Lights out and away we go, and it was a tentative start from Lando Norris. Verstappen and Perez both getting away well into the first corner. Verstappen ahead of Perez. Leclerc on the inside, looks like he's been beaten by the Red Bull. Off the line, gonna get squeezed here as he tries to battle on with that second place. Here comes Max Verstappen, wheel to wheel. Perez and Leclerc just ahead in second place. Alonso currently fourth ahead of Piastri and Norris, and then the two Mercedes. Ollie Bearman's got through the first 5 corners unscathed. Perez is right behind Charles Leclerc once again. Charles Leclerc has not got DRS to try and defend here. Sergio Perez has got DRS, and he's trying to make a move down the inside. Here comes Sergio Perez on Charles Leclerc. It's a Red Bull 1 and 2 as Perez moves himself up behind his teammate Max Verstappen. Lance Stroll going into the barrier. Lance Stroll, who I thought might have been struggling with his tyres just a touch and was certainly becoming a bit of a blockage and holding up the cars behind, has gone straight into the barriers. Now, will this be a safety car? Will this be a red flag? And thankfully, Lance Stroll radioing to say, I'm okay. Max Verstappen's coming in. Sergio Perez has been told to come in too. This is going to be a test for the Red Bull crew as they double stack their drivers. Leclerc also coming in for Ferrari.
They had 4.6 seconds at the last intermediate check on track, and here they have managed to get, also crucially, they've managed to get Verstappen up before the Ferrari.
Yeah, but is Perez going to get stuck now with other cars coming in? Perez gets out just before Fernando Alonso. Did he hold Fernando Alonso up? Leclerc gets out nice and safe as Alonso now gets his hard tyres put on. Piastri into the pit lane too. Bearman and Magnussen and Albon, and it is getting very, very busy. George Russell, you can see as Bearman now stops for his first pit stop in Formula 1.
So Hamilton and Norris have stayed out. They are the two drivers up at the front who have stayed out. I think Hulkenberg's the other one in the Haas who's elected to stay out. That's an interesting call, and I think that's because they would have had to stack Hamilton behind Russell, and they would have had to stack Norris behind Piastri. They wouldn't have been able to feed them out in the right position, and they would have lost track position there.
Bearman just getting out ahead of Kevin Magnussen. Lando's sat there with Max Verstappen right behind him thinking, well, I'm going to be stressing them because I want to try and keep my position. Well, the longer he holds Verstappen up, though, the better it is for his teammate. And when does he get going down this straight?
He's going to have to wait as late as possible. He's gone now, just at the pit entry line. Slightly caught Max by surprise, but maybe not enough.
Right, and that might be part of nursing his tyres a little bit, as Charles Leclerc is going to be under pressure here with Oscar Piastri. Norris leads into turn 1 from Max Verstappen. Then comes the Mercedes and Hamilton, 1 and 3. Norris and Hamilton haven't pitted yet in this race. Fernando Alonso down in 7th place, and there's a skirmish going on there as George Russell looks down the inside on Nico Hulkenberg, but nothing doing on that particular occasion. Here comes Max Verstappen in a straight line with DRS down the main straight. Lando Norris was leading this race. Max Verstappen is back in the lead of this race. Lap 13 of 50, and whilst Verstappen takes the lead, Sergio Perez getting past Lewis Hamilton and up into 3rd place. The other McLaren significantly slower than the other Red Bull. Not the one that's leading the race, the one that's in 3rd place currently. Sergio Perez is looking to make it Red Bull 1, Red Bull 2 for a second time in this race. Norris, remember, hasn't pitted in this race yet. Sergio Perez on the hard tyre has, and he pulls out from behind the rear wing of Norris's McLaren and makes the easy pass going into turn 1. But that was nice from Ollie Bearman through there. That was patient, and he did get a really good exit, and he's going to reap the rewards for it as Ollie Bearman, learning by every single lap, swoops past Nico Hülkenberg and up into 9th place. What a race on board now with Charles Leclerc. And bye-bye Lando Norris. That won't matter too much to Lando Norris. He's not racing Charles Leclerc at this stage of the race. He hasn't pitted yet. Neither has Hamilton, neither has Hülkenberg, neither has Zhou Guanyu. Charles Leclerc, of course, has pitted during the safety car, and he's now up into 3rd. Right, Oscar. 3rd time, of asking here. Well, Lewis is going to box. See, the blockbuster, the Oscar blockbuster that we were expecting, well, is all undone by Hamilton now pitting. But this is a crucial pit stop.
Thinking of going soft to the end. That's not what you think.
I think that's a very sensible idea. Now we're on lap 37 of 50. Ollie Bearman is just making his way into turn 1. There he goes. Lewis Hamilton is going to come out onto the track around about 5 seconds, potentially behind Ollie Bearman, maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, I think a bit closer to 10, Crofty, because it was 5 seconds to where Norris would have fed out. So Bearman is also matching Alonso's paces. So Russell about 1.3 behind Alonso as Norris finally pits. So they are making sure that they cover off the opportunity to give him time to attack and overtake Bearman. It's one thing to extend the stint, but he wasn't pulling further away. The pace of those medium tyres had leveled off and started to drop off, as we see Anthony Dosha here, fresh on his victory last night.
I tell you what, and still smiling after that knockout punch last night as well, as back onto the track comes Lando Norris and ahead of Lewis Hamilton. Verstappen is threading his way through the high-speed corners once again. He's never previously won the opening 2 races of a Grand Prix season. Didn't seem to do him much harm in the last 3 years as he went on to become world champion. And he is on course here for a 9th consecutive victory. Alberto Ascari, Sebastian Vettel and Max Verstappen have all won 9 times in their career in a row before. Verstappen is going to do it again as he marches on to maybe 10 out of 10 next time out in Australia. But here in Saudi Arabia, with a 100th podium in Formula 1, Max Verstappen wins the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. And once again, it was a relatively comfortable night for the defending champion. Once more, as happened in Bahrain, Sergio Perez is the 2nd car across the line. Red Bull start the season with back-to-back 1-2 finishes for the 2nd year running. Charles Leclerc takes the fastest lap of the race on the final lap of the race, but all eyes now on his teammate Ollie Bearman. Oscar Piastri is going to come home in 4th place. Alonso will be 5th. Russell will be 6th. But on his Grand Prix debut, after getting the late call from Ferrari, it's brilliant Bearman as he crosses the line to finish 7th on debut. Take a bow, young man. What a brilliant race that was.